Alright, who is it? Hello! Have you ever taken a look at Fear and Hunger and thought to yourself, man, this is just too easy and fair? Well, this is where the randomizer comes in. With this, you can choose to randomize pretty much anything you feel like. You know that wooden door you can get in a fight with to break down? Well, now it can be Grogroth, with you having absolutely no way of knowing. Or what about the weapon randomizer? That axe you start with? Now it can be a completely unusable broken weapon. And even better, how about we complete this unholy combination with Ragnvaldr's S ending, which requires you to, at minimum, kill 11 enemies, any of which could be randomized to be a door or Sylvian. And that's not even mentioning the amount of regular enemies that could also be randomized to something completely unfair that you can fail to escape from at any time. Unfortunately, randomizing most other things is far too broken. Okay, this is looking pretty good. So at the start, I only decided to randomize weapons, armor, and enemies. This would, however, slightly change later on, and I'll get to why that is later. Anyway, pretty much everything other than using debug spots, infinite item glitches, and skipping fights by using empty scrolls to get the required souls is fair game. So with that, let us begin! With the very first attempt, I actually got quite lucky with the weapon randomization, starting with a Cursed Claymore. With this, I was confident I could manage to make some good progress here. So, let's see how the rest of this run goes. Oh no. Yeah, to be honest, it would quickly become evident that you never had any semblance of safety with this randomizer. One issue that I would come to quickly figure out was that the randomization on this mod works in strange ways. Every enemy was different this time, but every weapon and armor piece was still the same. But before I could think too much about that... After this, I had figured out that in order to randomize things properly, you actually had to go into one of the files for the mod and change the seed manually. So from now on, whenever I die, I'll just write some random bullshit into the seed text and just see what happens. At the moment, I was kind of just doing whatever, honestly. Just going through the starting areas, looting, and hoping for good stuff, all the while hoping to avoid any bastard enemies. Too big of a deal? Okay, there's a door. Then I had an idea. You see, normally the fight with Nashra here is literally impossible to win against. So what would happen if I beat him? No, Nashra is just there. Nothing, as it turns out. I then had a rather unlucky enemy encounter, which I for some reason didn't even think to try and escape from. Then, thanks to some luck, I managed to find an explosive vial to gain access to the thicket. Another reason why I decided to randomize weapons was because without randomizing them, this would be my strat for pretty much every single attempt. And who do we get as the ghost? Oh god! No! Oh no! This was actually a pretty huge problem, since the ghost appears in a few certain spots unless you kill him. But it was not fruitless, for the Eastern Sword was replaced with the Surgle Spear. Unbelievable. Which is probably like third best weapon in the game. Now, since the Poltergeist Man was randomized to be the Crow Mauler, that probably meant that the Crow Mauler was just some shitty low-level enemy then, right? So let's see. Is he a hard fight? Dude! It randomizes one of the hardest enemies in the game to the more powerful version of him. Are you fucking kidding me? On the next try, with almost no preparation and nothing but a cursed short sword, I decided to attempt to kill my first required boss enemy for the ending, Cave Mother. Who's the fight gonna beat? Okay, that's not bad, that's not bad. I have the cursed short sword. First phase, no problem. Second phase, that's not good. Next attempt is avoiding puppy. Crow Mauler. I could take him down right now. Let's go for it. That only does that much damage. Fucking. After some more wasted time, I would make my first big discovery. Oh! Okay. While I was excited at the time, I would later come to realize what this meant for the rest of the run. And I also realized that since every enemy is randomized, this meant I could get past many of the locked doors pretty easily if they randomized into an easy enemy, leading me to some quite good loot. Unfortunately, a critical mistake would then be made. We should be able to take him out without much issue. Oh, I forgot about that. Fuck. Please. But now I knew the strat to opening up doors I normally can't to find good weapons. The reason this was good was that most ways to find weapons were down to luck with coin flips, which weren't exactly my forte. Okay, thanks. Oh, fuck off! Moving on to the next run, I found an empty scroll, which I used for necromancy, since I figured one of the best ways to stay safe in a place where you don't know what's going on is to just get other people to take all the hits for you. First skeleton obtained. I think oh no. Oh, fuck no. Please work. Okay, After a lucky coin flip, because I forgot I had already used the rabbit healing area, our second skeleton, Hillary. And then this would occur. Thorned ring, what is that? Chromo soul. Oh. Now, initially I was quite happy with this, but then I had a stark realization. Wait, I just realized. If I have armor randomized and souls that counted as armors, I might not even get the souls for using a soul stone. And sure enough, after managing to defeat the cave mother and using a soul stone on her, we got the ever-watching talisman. And so I decided to adjust the randomizer to only randomize weapons and enemies from now on. Now that we actually had the correct settings for the randomizer, it was time to go hard. Oh, shit. Alright, let's see what we got. Green, what's your problem, Green? Now, this run was actually looking quite promising. Good luck escaping, and we got the blue sin. But wait, it's a randomized weapon. What weapon did I get? Now, finally, we were onto our first boss enemy, the salmon snake, who was replaced by a uterus. A surprisingly good randomization, since the main threat from the uterus is you get infected limbs, which, luckily enough for us, the salmon snake soul completely fixes once you equip it. This luck, however, would not last. This is really bad. And again, look at that, 1 HP. Thankfully, at least his paralysis darts missed, so I would live with 1 goddamn HP. Regardless of this misfortune, it was time once again to go and kill the salmon snake. What is it? Okay, easy fight. And then the mage, huge! Now what about the other mage? What is it? They could just fucking... Why did I do that? Oh, okay, that's fine. Now, on this run, we managed to defeat the salmon snake, who was just some pussy-ass mumbler, and this time I avoided the first yellow mage, just to be safe, and instead went to fight only the second one, who I couldn't get around. Surely I wouldn't get some bad luck with him this time, right? Oh no. That's pretty epic on it. It's pretty epic randomizer. Now, in case you don't know, in the game files, there is a demo version of the Tormented one, which is the fight that the demo ends off at. So it's programmed to just display some text and then make you quit the game to the main menu. And it was in this randomizer. So what this means is that literally any enemy, including one of the main ones I need to defeat in a fight, could be randomized to the demo version of the Tormented one, which would make the run literally impossible to complete. And there would be no way I could know this before ending my game. How so very fun. Also, I forgot to check what weapon. Oh! Dude, we are so fucking back. We're actually back. Alright, who is it this time? Torture! The game just actually Honestly, this was my last straw. If I had to endure more of this, and those annoying ass loud dogs whenever I go in through the main entrance, I would lose my mind. So I downloaded a quiet dogs mod, so they would finally shut the fuck up. Okay. Why is it always such dog shit? Like, why is it Alchemia Volume 2? Why can't you give me Volume 1? Why can't you give me a fucking skill book? Now, finally, after many quick runs and failed attempts, I had a new idea. You see, in my rulebook, I had never stated that I can't use the empty scroll to actually get boss souls, just that I couldn't skip the fights needed to normally get those boss souls. so this was allowed as long as I did go and fight the White Angel later. This was actually probably my best idea in all my years living on this earth, as it made moving around far, far safer. This time I actually decided to play it a bit safer now that I had the White Angel soul. I decided to avoid fighting any big enemies for now, and instead take as much time to prepare as possible. So I took a little trek to the Mahavre puzzle area to test my luck yet again on the scrolls. None of that bullshit. Okay. That is fucking ass. Wait, I haven't gotten like fast attack or like black orb once, no, but I keep fucking getting scroll of the goddamn gen. Also, in case you don't know, the crow mauler normally despawns if you go into the Mahavre city, but there is a workaround for this. If you go into the past and walk on the right side here, you won't activate the trigger. While I was here, I also decided to grab the Gauntlet armor, as all I had to do was kill this guy who was just, oh, Gordon Ramsay.
I'm gonna go fucking ballistic. Get a grip!
Honestly, just having this armor made a huge difference in survivability. I was far, far more safe than ever before. Honestly, this journey to Mahavre, other than the Gauntlet armor, was quite honestly completely useless, as I got pretty much nothing in terms of skills or books. So now it was time to face our first foe. 100%, let's see who he is. Oh, hell yes, bro. I gotta go fucking heal up or I die. Now, while trying to find the crow mauler, I figured I should check who Iron Shakespeare is, right? I have a 100% escape chance, so why not? Shakespeare, who are you? Looks like we aren't beating this one, boys. Now, despite this being incredibly unlucky, I did have an idea of sorts. I had no idea if the Iron Shakespeare was vulnerable to bear traps, but if he was, then maybe it would change him to a different enemy. But unfortunately, my theoretical hypothesis could not be proven, as I didn't have one on me, and it probably wouldn't have worked anyway, thinking about it now, to be honest, so let's just go see Cave Mother. You suck ass, bro. Don't be some bullshit. Okay, thanks. Luckily, both of her phases were some of the best bits of enemy randomization you could get, so that was no problem whatsoever. And then the Salmon Snake was just a Moonless Guard, which really isn't too bad at all, especially with the Gauntlet armor, since I can just poison him and then just keep guarding. Awesome. Then I got my revenge on Crow Mauler. We had actually managed to tick off quite a few of the required enemies. Not really having much of a better plan for Shakespeare at the moment, I decided to go kill Valtiel instead. Okay, fuck it, let's do it. I thought this would be a decently challenging fight, but nope, he was actually incredibly easy with my level of prep. Black Witch, just some pussy-ass lizard man who is an easier enemy than even the prison guards, so he was no problem. Next up, Old Guardian. Black Witch, which isn't bad at all to be honest. Next up, it was time for Skin Granny, a Moonless Guard. Not bad at all, honestly. The luck on all of these fights was super good so far. It's so ass. Are you what is wrong? I'm gonna have to hit a coin flip now or I'm dead. Please, for the love of fucking God. I'm done. I'm done. This challenge is fucking stupid. I give up. I'm done. I'm done. Okay, this challenge has fucking broken me. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. No. Sorry. I'm done. I'm not doing it. How's it going, bros? My name is Pew. Now, despite what I said, much like an abusive girlfriend, I would come back to it on the very same day to try once more. Let's hit it. Nice. Now, unfortunately, this first run of the day would not go particularly well, as I would have my ass kicked by a door. Don't fuck it up this time, please. Thanks. Like, this is what I'm saying. It always gives me, like, the most dogshit books in existence. Okay. Like, it's always ancient book. Why the fuck is it always like these dog shit ass fucking things? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Alright, fine. You want me to fucking risk my goddamn life? Fine, I'll fucking risk it. And I hit it. Necromancy. Okay, that was worth it as fuck. Then we had to face Torturer. Oh, what's up, Sil? It's kind of ass. Bad. It's so fucking bad. But you know what, I'll take it. 2 empty scrolls, huge, but no quills. I could buy some from the Cave Dweller village, but before that I decided to go ahead and grab some weapons and armors. Nope, I'm good. Now, you can probably tell from my commentary that I was becoming increasingly apathetic towards this challenge. I mean, I wasn't even reacting to the good finds anymore. I think that should display to you the mental toll that this challenge had taken upon me. Thankfully, I would soon obtain an empty scroll and use it for the White Angel's soul. That 100% escape chance was mine yet again, which would slightly reinvigorate me, enough to check on our good friend Shakespeare. Was he, And what about the elite guard here? Alright, who are you actually? I would then grab myself necromancy with a second empty scroll. We were making huge progress. So how about we face the Crow Mauler, our first big boss enemy fight. Buddy. Tormented one. Oh, great. Next run, I would die to Boogie2988. But then, thankfully, I would be blessed with an empty scroll and a quill before even getting out of the first area of the dungeons, White Angel. I then ran into a small issue. This was just one of the ending fights, which isn't actually a fight, but just a few dialogue options. Thankfully, all this did was just force me to read some dialogue and then booted me out of the fight without issue, but I had a concern about this. This meant that if I got this randomized enemy on, say, the Crow Mauler or Iron Shakespeare, the run would become literally unbeatable without using empty scrolls. So that is now 2 enemies that me getting randomized would be an instant game over, which I potentially couldn't even know until an hour or 2 into the run. Who is this though? What the fuck? No, I'm out. Honestly, pretty huge progress on this run. I was just getting ready to check the miasma to see what weapon it was real quick. And look what happened! Yay! Next run went quite well. And then the one after as well. Also, I did not know at this point, but as it turns out, all of the fights that you normally can't run from have the skill escape disabled, but the battle menu one works. So before, whenever I tried to escape using the skill, instead of getting an extra 20% chance or so, I was instead getting a flat 0% chance, but I would figure this out later. Thankfully, my unfortunate luck would once again change for the better, and wait a second, hasn't this happened before literally like 30 minutes ago? Yes, somehow this exact same set of events happened. Pretty lucky, right? Makes you wonder why every single one of the torturer fights has been complete dog shit. Okay, torture a 4th time.
Fuck all of y'all.
5th?
All of y'all can go suck a caterpillar dick.
Dude, if my microphone falls again, I am going to fucking drill holes into my table to fucking slot the microphone in. This challenge is quite literally the digital personification of a slow, painful lobotomy procedure that starts from the rectum. Watch, it's gonna be like tormented demo version right now. This is unbelievable. I went back and counted. The torturer has randomized to a hard enemy 8 times in a row. Now, unfortunately, despite the game finally giving me luck with the torturer fight, it decided to instead put that misfortune towards the cave mother fight, which led me to receiving some absolutely crazy head. Within 4 minutes, I speedran my way to the cave mother for a rematch. Nope, it's a door. Okay, can't fight her, so let's go for Salmon Snake. I'm sure he's gonna be pretty easy. Anyway, after a few more attempts, I got a decent start with a White Angel soul and went to fight the first guy. Where is it? Now, it was time to finally test my theory.
I hate being alive! I hate being alive!
Nope, he just fucking ignores it. I did have one more idea though. If I found the Iron Shakespeare as a fight with some other enemy, then killing him there would also kill his overworld Grogeroth version. So now instead of trying to avoid fights, I was actually purposefully checking every fight I could to see if it was Iron Shakespeare. And then honestly, not much happened for a while. I spent the next 20 minutes or so just running around the dungeon. I didn't end up finding too much though, so I went for the guaranteed loot of the Gaunt Knight armor yet again. Only to find a metal door, which I was actually too weak to take down, so I couldn't get his armor for the time being. But my damage was pretty close since the door had 800 HP. If I went and killed Crow Mauler, I could grab his soul, which lets me do an extra 30% damage, which should be enough to take this fucking door down. Who might it be? You might think, wow, Butterfly Man? Awesome generation. This dude doesn't even attack. But no, this was actually really bad, as by killing him, I would also kill the Butterfly guy outside, and here's the issue. The Butterfly Man is the one enemy you have to not kill to get his soul. So I just soft-walked myself out of the ending. Dang. Surprisingly, I actually wasn't too upset at this, as my expectations for getting this ending today were practically zero. Instead, I was just happy to figure out this potential soft lock so I could avoid it later. Optimism defeats pessimism. Stay fucking hard. So let's go fight the Gauntlet now. I forgot to equip promo, so. Unfortunately, I forgot to equip it, but that's fine. I can just leave the battle and equip it, right? Did I just fucking softlock myself? I then spent the next 10 minutes attempting to get a crit on this door so I could just beat it anyway without using the chromo whistle. Unfortunately, I would come to figure out that this cannot happen, as doors are immune to crits, and since I had no way to escape this fight, there was absolutely nothing I could do. We are softlocked to a door. Now, unfortunately, this first run on the next day would not go too well. Oh la la! What a well-designed enemy. What a well-designed enemy. Give an award to whoever designed that enemy. It's alright though, because this time I would use the power of naming my character to give myself some good luck. So let's see how well my luck goes for the next 20 minutes. Why do you gotta be here? Fucking red man. Like, fuck you, gay! Useless dog shit things you can possibly find.
This cracker is back on the streets.
Motherfucker! Who is it? An elite guard. No, I'm good, bro. Okay, that is the 4th time in a row that I have failed to escape from an encounter. Please explain to me why this has happened 4 times in a row. An empty scroll randomly from the fucking chest. Holy shit. Yellow King. Like, what is this shit? Why? 5 times! Fucking finally! Thankfully, despite my great misfortune, I would survive this encounter and go on to reverse my luck to be good instead. Okay, 4 empty scrolls, okay. Then after searching around for a while, I finally managed to find a quill to use with an empty scroll and used it to get a white angel soul. Reaching the cave dweller merchant, I could now purchase however many quills I wished. So I got myself healing whispers for some great healing for my whole party when I get some more party members, necromancy to get those party members, and to be safe, I also decided to give myself Gauntlet armor, just so I wouldn't risk having to go fight him again. Next plan of action, kill Iron Shakespeare. Oh, it's just a regular prison guard. And then, the Crow Mauler. Now this was probably the scariest enemy I could have gotten. There he is. What's up? Who is it?
A spa!
Fuck you! Then I went for the Black Witch, who was randomized into a Moonless Guard, which, by the way, I'm not sure why these guys are so common in the randomizer. I seem to keep getting them just all the goddamn time. But anyway, this fight wasn't too hard thanks to the Gauntlet armor giving me great protection. Next up, the Old Guardian. Who might he randomize to? What, it's just the actual Old Guardian. Now, I would have been incredibly upset at this, but thankfully I actually had a helmet that prevents stun locking, so his bullshit-ass boulder throw attack wasn't an issue. I guarded the first turn and then hit him with the throwing dart to poison him, so I could pretty safely just continuously guard to avoid a lot of the damage. Absolutely horribly designed fight. Making more progress than I ever had before, I decided to go fight the Tormented One. But before that, I had to grab a friend, Skullhead. It's probably better to just... Oh, fuck off, game. Like, what? What? Unfortunately for me, I did not know that Diarce's arms actually had 80% evasion, which led me to losing the potential use of any weapons. This left me overall quite upset. Still, I would not give up so easily. We needed a skeleton with arms. So I went all the way back to the front of the dungeon and grabbed Armaton, Salmon Snake. Chill randomization. Thank you. Thank you. Now, the Cave Mother. I suppose, in a way, it's good to know that regardless of me losing my arms, I probably wouldn't have even had a chance against this fight anyway. The next run went as well as you would expect. Now, this next run we got an enemy coin flip, and you already know how these go. Looks like he can handle me.
Always happen!
But was the sword I grabbed worth it?
Absolutely no.
Thankfully, I would not feel the effects of this poor decision for too long, as this happened just after. Now, this next run was going alright. No empty scrolls, but I was making good progress, and so I went to fight the Cave Mother. Okay, cool. Easy. And then she's back for round 2. Who's it gonna be this time? Don't be some bullshit. Yep. I'm not even... You know, something I realized is that the only runs where I actually manage to make any progress at all are the ones where I find an empty scroll early, which is good because that happened the very next run. Then we killed the Iron Shakespeare, who was just a moonless guard, looted some more, and Salmon Snake.
I work at a slaughterhouse, watching the light be released from a living creature.
Crow Muller! Then it was time for some revenge on the Gaunt Knight. Black Witch was just a guard. Now, let's go back to the two-phase boss that could be complete bullshit. Better not be some bullshit. Moonless, easy. Second phase, Enki, dead in one turn. Too fucking easy. Then I went ahead to fight Valtiel. Skin Granny was a decent randomization. It was looking to be quite an alright fight, right? No, it did go for the win. What? What is that damage? I was initially bewildered as to why this did such an insane amount of damage to me. As it turns out, the critical slash the Skin Granny does with her arms puts you into critical state, which is 1 HP if she hits you with it twice in a row in one turn. So it was back to wasting my time. Next attempt, nothing happened. I got the worst side of it, which was ass, since it hits like literally never, which means even with the Cave Mother being randomized to just this idiot, I still died like a fucking idiot. Now, this time I actually decided to choose a bow as my starting weapon and ended up getting a Chris short bow. Why am I mentioning this? Well, right at the start I found a book of forgotten memories which teaches marksmanship. So now I could kill bastards like Torturer without needing to fight them. Who is this guy? Oh, you bastard. Oh, I fucking remember you, you motherfucker. Then we had a quick fight with the guard who was a cave mother. But what about the real cave mother? No. As you would probably expect, I did not survive this encounter. Now, from this point forward, I got another idea. Marksmanship was pretty damn useful to me, but how could I ensure that I start with a short bow in order to use it when all the weapons were randomized? Well, as it turns out, since this game still considers you to have whatever weapon each one corresponds to in the files, this means that if you choose a short bow as your starting weapon, regardless of if you start with a short sword or something like that, you'll still be able to fire arrows and use marksmanship with that short sword. This was huge. The first big development to the strategy in a while. Cave Mother. SS. As it turns out, this fight was actually super simple. Getting rid of the left arm meant any form of body damage she can do was just completely gone. And then phase 2. What's good? Oh. I can't actually beat you. What happens? I'm surprised that worked. I thought it would just like send me out, but I guess you're not meant to leave that fight unless you win. So now who might this yellow mage be? Okay, it's over. That's fine though, because next attempt. Yes. Oh, you fucking do. Your game. You go kind of crazy with it. Iron Shakespeare. Who might it be? Awesome. Cave Mother 1 and 2. Salmon Snake. The same thing happened as with the Cave Mother. You have a conversation, achieve godhood, and you win. Then the mage was just our good friend Torturer. Very easy. And then what about the Crow Mauler? This was actually a slight issue, since the only way to have a chance of achieving this damage needed to take down the door by yourself was to equip the Crow Mauler Soul. I think you can see the issue here. So this means the only workaround was to go and grab some party members or get leg sweep. I didn't feel like grabbing more party members since it meant no longer having the ability to 100% escape fights, so it was time for some scroll gambling. Okay. Swordsman, nice. Actually got quite good luck, but no leg sweep. And then it was time for some more scroll searching. Oh my god, the luck. It's actually quite insane just how lucky I was getting. I hit about 7 coin flips in a row, like holy shit. This would be further demonstrated in the library. Oh. Fucking huge. But is my enemy randomization luck on a similar level?
Raiden, show me who did it. She kinda bad though. Is that Frost?
However, this wasn't the completely hopeless situation you might think it is, for I had looked at some ancient Chinese fear and hunger tips. I then also used the same tactic for the Gaunt Knight because I was not getting trapped by him again. Unfortunately, this does mean we'll never know who he was, but maybe that's for the better. And also, since I found so many empty scrolls, I was now living lavishly, and so I flexed my wealth obtained from my child audience like a loser, by grabbing necromancy just in case, and leg sweep to utterly demolish the Crowmauler. Bye bye! Next up, Valtiel, the one who sacrificed himself in an attempt to gain true knowledge and enlightenment, but ultimately led to him suffering. Let us see this fitting randomization. Next up, it was once again time for Skin Granny, who hopefully wouldn't randomize to some bomboklat moonless guard, who I would miss 2 goddamn swings on.
That's okay.
I genuinely think this area is cursed. Why do I always have at least 1 miss here? I mean, damn! But it's fine, he still went down pretty easy. Continuing forward, I was pumping myself up to go and face the tormented one. Unfortunately, along the way, this would occur. Oh. Is this really how it ends? Now, if you watched my previous Fear and Hunger video, you might remember that I downloaded an infinite save mod. I decided to delete this mod. Why? Because I am a completely dumb pre-evolution intelligence ape. Like, seriously, what the fuck was I thinking? So for this next set of attempts, I reinstalled the Infinite Book of Enlightenment mod, just in case the game crashes or softlocks like that again. The first run, not much really happened, other than Tails never fails being a poor saying to follow. 5 times in a row. Okay, thank you. Fuck you. And because of this, I ended up with pretty much 0 actual good loot other than the Scroll of Pyromancy. Yeah, thanks, man. Regardless of this, though, I didn't die to any of the randomizations yet, so I continued forward until I made an unfortunate mistake. How much does a throwing knife do? I don't. It has that little. Are we just? Oh, damn. Oh, we missed. Let's go. Oh, it's. The next run, we started out hard with an empty scroll, and then... Okay, he's trying to juke me, he's trying to fucking...
Do you like sushi?
The next run, we got some actual good randomization for the Eastern Sword Ghost, the Hydra, which literally can't damage you, so it's a free fight. However, since the regular and purified Eastern Sword can be completely different weapons, I first checked the regular Eastern Sword, which randomized to be Shark Teeth, ass. So I went to kill the Ghost again to hopefully get a good weapon. Alright, cave mother. Oh, that's these. Alright, what do we have for this fight then? Ooh, okay. Okay, chill. Salmon snake. Uh-oh. Now, this run actually went decent, even though I didn't manage to find an empty scroll. I still got access to the thicket, and the Crowmauler was just a few hounds. Then the salmon snake was Harvestman, who, with like a 10% chance, I managed to hit first turn. Unfortunately, however... that's probably bad. I don't think that doing this defeats him. It's fine though, because the next run, right at the start, it might be counter. Oh no, it's leg sweep. Oh, fuck. Still no empty scrolls though, unfortunately, and yeah, I just narrated this attempt for no reason. Yep. And I don't really want to take at this point in time.
Apes like this. You sit here, you grind, you hustle, you mind your own business, and this motherfucking monkey got the audacity.
Okay, so how do you think this next attempt went, huh? Tell me. White Angel Soul. Now, let's go quickly see who this Iron Shakespeare is. While I was initially quite scared of this fight, I remembered right after that you can just speak to him to disable everything, but there was still 2 things that scared me for this fight. Number 1, the coin flip he does. I felt like since this was programmed only for that specific area with the Francois fight, it might break and softlock normally. And secondly, if I killed him now, would actual Francois just be dead? What would happen? You only get his soul after beating him in the battle. So because of this, I figured it would be safer to kill the real Francois first, and then go for Iron Shakespeare, if I ever actually make it that far. Cave Mother was no issue whatsoever. Easiest fight ever. But can you guess what we got for Salmon Snake? You know what, whatever man, no big deal. Let's just restart real quick and god motherfucking damn. It's actually all good though, because my next attempt I found a bunch of empty scrolls and a quill, so White Angel Soul, 100% escape chance. However, even this would not protect me against my massive blunder. God damn it. Thankfully though, by using my newfound strats of looking up the enemy on google.com, I found you can say "Queh?" for them to be like, yo, who is this guy? And while still quite damaging and dangerous, they were now actually defeatable. So this run is looking pretty good so far, right? Well, this is where the Spotify incident would happen. Oh my, what if I told you that while doing this playthrough, I was listening to some music on Spotify, and it just so happens that I decided to press the key on my keyboard to replay the last song. This key was in fact the F5 key. But perhaps this was in fact the blessing I needed, because right after I would get the second best start ever. Ambush. Oh, epic. It's unbelievable that this game was made by a real human being. Yes. Ooh la la. The scroll of fencing was pretty damn good. Things were looking up, but it's not like any of this mattered because the Crow Mauler randomized into a new god, so he was now literally unkillable. But before I could really even think about that too much, we got this bastard as the salmon snake fight, and this would be my final straw. Damn. Okay, I'm done. I'm done for today then. You know, sometimes in order for things to pay off, you gotta take risks. Might as well, why not? Oh shit. Let this life be a lesson. No matter how hard you try or how much risk you give up, you might just get molested anyway. Even when you win, and in more ways than one. What a shame. Give up. Why did I do that? Ooh, okay, cursed ritual spear. I mean, we can get behind that. I find that after choosing the fucking shield. Killed Iron Shakespeare, who was just a yellow mage, and also looted some more, finding mostly dog shit, but thankfully the miasma was actually the cursed bluesin, which is like second or third best weapon of all time. Unfortunately, like most of my other promising runs, I would die not to my own mistake or mistake of the randomizer. Well, I guess partly randomizer, but rather regular random chance. We have to go for the head, there's no other way. At this point, I was honestly, really and truly beginning to lose hope, with me not even bothering to see the beginning through. I feel like I'm just restarting, fuck off. And then right after this happened, because I wasn't paying too much attention, and accidentally ran into one of the priests. On this next run, I would make some very efficient use of Marksmanship, a skill which I had somewhat neglected for a while. However, my use of the skill would come to an unfortunate and swift end. Fuck. Regardless though, I continued and found out the true power hidden in this wooden door.
The realest cracker is back on the streets.
I would then be challenged to an intelligence match by the salmon snake, which I would of course fail.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
Next run we got Sylvian for a guard, which might seem bad, but that doesn't mean Sylvian can't be any of the bosses, so that's actually huge. And then for once, the Eastern sword would actually be worth grabbing. I then also found that the Crow Mauler was Enki, who, while decent, I was still scared would molest me greatly with his hurting, so nah, I'm good for now. I'm staying safe. I then used 2 more empty scrolls I found, one for Healing Whispers and another for Necromancy to get a new friend. Hi there! Since I decided maybe it would be good to get party members for some of the fights that I can't escape from. And then for the Cave Mother, we got Francois, who we tormented with his ego by calling him mean names. Then the Ballista Guard, who put up more of a fight than the literal new god Francois. Salmon Snake fight looked to be seemingly alright, until, of course, random chance would once again prove itself to be my worst enemy next to Alchemilia Volume 2.
I am ready to sacrifice all members of my family to ensure my wealth remains.
The mage here was just some bitch-ass spider. Then Gaunt Knight armor, which worked out pretty well actually, just being a few dogs I had to put down. Black Witch was just Lord of the Flies, who just of fucking course I had to miss my Circle Spear on, but whatever, honestly he's not a tough fight with my current setup. Then I was like, you know what, let's do it. All I had to do was take out his left arm. Would random chance be my downfall yet again? Don't miss. Thank you. Thankfully not, I had won. I then decided to go grab the other skeleton in the thicket area. Unfortunately, this didn't go too well. Dang. Oh, it just disappeared. Now, I couldn't exactly remember where the other skeleton in Mahavre was, but I did find Meat Man, and it was time for Valteal. This was looking like the run of all time. That was until... By some absolute black magic, the Harvest Man somehow managed to attack me from there while I was here. Fantastic. Now you might think, oh whatever, it's just Francois. I can just stunlock him like usual, right? But no. This wasn't Joe Biden. This was Hunter Biden. My bullying tactics no longer had any effect on him. That's fine though, because epic dogs as Sylvian. I would mention this attempt more, but I gave up very quickly. Actually opened up Task Manager. It was at this very moment that my mental sanity would descend the furthest it ever has.
Elon Musk, give me free Tesla. Elon Musk, you are so good at Path of Exile.
Now, unfortunately, my commentary for this run was quite mediocre because I had no hope that this run would be successful. I mean, just listen to me with the Cave Mother.
That's bullshit. This game is fucking stupid.
Literally zero enjoyment in my voice. But this would change with phase 2 of the Cave Mother. Even the salmon snake fight was just the uterus, which was pretty easy. I then went to check out the Nosramus hideout in the mines, since we did kill the armor instead of the torturer. Apparently the game didn't really work with this though, and this would happen.
You got it, Ragnvaldir.
But trust me, the winning run will come soon. Alright, you know what? I'm not even gonna waste your time with this run. I think you know how this goes by now, right? I explore some stuff, get something decent, and then something like this happens, and it's over. So let's get to a run that was actually somewhat significant. This time we started out with Bone Shears, which was decent. Now, the luck on this run was actually quite above average. No empty scrolls at the start, but I did find other actually decent books and scrolls. Ambush. One of the unfortunate things about Bone Shears is they had around a 50% chance of missing, I think, so even this cave dweller was quite a big threat. Okay, oh my god. Not much else really happened for a while, just some looting where I didn't really get anything too good, so I just went to fight the Cave Mother.
Oh, this little bitch? Fuck up out of here.
Then the Salmon Snake.
Can you even defeat her?
Unfortunately, our good friend the Yellow Mage would randomize into quite the problem.
There we go. Asshole.
And then I wanted to see who the Chromauler is. Easy. I then also quickly checked who the Iron Shakespeare was. Not too bad of a randomization. I tried to Black Orb his head, but I missed! Unfortunately, he did an insane amount of damage with this, and so I decided I wasn't prepared yet and would come back later. After finding some complete ass in the Mahavre scroll area, we were on our way to Valtiel. Also grabbed the Gaunt Knight armor from the Nameless figurine, which was a much easier fight than I had expected.
Nice.
Then, after some of the best luck I've encountered in the library...
Okay, we have 4 empty scrolls, right? Okay. That's fucking insane.
We were prepared for pretty much anything. I foolishly attempted to get myself an Eastern sword using an empty scroll.
Wait, I just realized it'll be random. It probably won't be what I asked for, yeah. Okay, it's not what I asked for.
Then also Necromancy, and then I also decided to get Leg Sweep just in case we run into any doors. Valtiel was our first target, and who would he randomize to? These bastards. I would now finally have my revenge. The bastardized Black Witch turned into the Moonless Guard. Knowing from previous experience, I wasn't taking any chances with this fight. So in case my attack missed, I equipped the Salmon Snake Soul. Then foolishly, the next turn, used Fast Attack, forgetting a crucial detail.
Oh, fuck, I forgot. Oh god. Why do I always miss?
And it was over. Gotcha.
I lived. Oh god.
I managed to survive somehow and made a huge comeback. Next up, it was time for Skin Granny. Finally, I would be given an actual good randomization for this fight. And then, the Old Guardian. Who might it be this time? I must say, this run was looking incredibly promising. I also decided that, you know what, all of these fights were going pretty well, now that I started taking more safer strategies like guarding and abusing status effects. I was pretty confident that unless the randomization was Grogaroth, Sylvian, or the demo version of the Tormented one, I would be able to take them all out solo. So for this reason, I decided not to grab any skeletons. I would come to realize the consequences of this action in the very next fight.
Who is it?
There were no consequences. Woo! Now, for the first time ever, we had actually beat the Tormented One, and so it was time for White Angel. I already had his soul from an empty scroll, but no cheating. Oh, yes. Now, to fight Francois, we had to kill the nameless figurine. Who might it be? Oh, okay. Dude, I'm scared. I'm scared because, like, all of this luck could mean that the fucking final fight I have to do is just gonna be ridiculous. Francois was the final battle that I had huge fear for, since I already knew who the Iron Shakespeare was. But Francois would be the thing that could completely end this run. But I knew I had to face him. Let's get after this! He's a bit more of an issue. This fight actually did scare me quite a lot. Despite my luck, I still didn't have a particularly good weapon. I had the cursed shark teeth, which wasn't bad, but it wasn't on the same level as the Eastern Sword, Blue Sin, or Sergo Spear. Attacking his arm wouldn't do enough damage to take it out in one turn. By some absolute miracle, he didn't use it, and I was left free to chop off his other threatening limb. And then I went for the leg sweep, chopping off his leg and tail, leaving his head vulnerable. And just like that, I had managed. Oh my god. One final fight left now. The Iron Shakespeare, who is just the Lord of the Flies. But remember, this is Fear and Hunger. One small mistake, and I could end up completely fucked. Such as if I forgot about his coin flip. I was not taking any chances with this guy. I started with black orbing his arm because that had less of a chance of missing than my normal attacks. Then I remembered to guard the coin flip, thank god, and then used black orb on the head, which unlike the first time I tried, actually managed it. My journey was now pretty much complete. I think we did it. All that was left to do now was collect the butterfly soul and leave. There it is. No fucking way. Now, I could tell you how scared I was that Sylvian or something would show up and I would corner myself, but no, I wasn't worried at all if I'm being honest. I walked out through the side entrance to be safe, since that had fewer enemies than the front entrance. Finally, after 20 hours of attempts, granted like an hour of that was me being AFK, but still, I had finally managed to complete this fucking stupid challenge. We're done. We're done. I fucking did it. I did it, finally. It's done. It's over. I don't recommend for anyone to ever do this, because it's not even like a Souls challenge where you get to show off your skill and strategic ability. It's about 10% luck, 20% skill. Anyway, thank thee hugely much for watching, and good night. Who is it?
You did not disappoint.